Dear students, our today's topic is the second chapter of the Vistas, that is the supplementary textbook for class 12. And the name of the chapter is The Tiger King. Now, first of all, about the author. Ramaswamy Krishnamurthy, born on 9th September 1899 and died on 5th December 1954, better known by his pen name Kalki, was an Indian writer, journalist, poet, critic, and Indian independence activist. He chose the pen name Kalki, the 10th and last avatar of the Hindu god Vishnu. He founded a magazine which was also named Kalki, with T. Sadasivam being the co-founder in 1941. Kalki's writings include over 120 short stories, 10 novellas, 5 novels, 3 historical romances, editorial and political writings, and hundreds of film and music reviews. This was Ramaswamy Krishnamurthy. Next, honors. The release of a postage stamp in honor of Kalki was among the highlights of the centenary celebrations. Government of Tamil Nadu announced the nationalization of Kalki's works. This will enable the publishers to come out with reprints of his works. Kalki Krishnamurthy received the Sangeeta Kalasya Khamani Award conferred on him by the Indian Fine Arts Society in 1953. Now about death. Kalki died in Chennai on 5th December 1954, aged 55 years. The cause of his death was tuberculosis. Kalki magazine special issue dated 5th December 1954, the day he died, for Annai Sarada Devi, was his last editorial work. That magazine shared the information that his health was improving. That magazine shared the information that his health was improving prior to his demise. On 5th December 1954, at the age of 55 years, and as I told you, he died of tuberculosis. The next, this is Kalki Krishnamurthy, and it was this figure of his, this image of his was printed on a 1999 stamp of India. Now, next we will start with the short summary of this chapter, the Tiger King. The story is about the king of Pratibandhapuram, who was also known as the Tiger King and was famous for his indomitable courage. The Tiger King was rumored to have spoken when he was 10 days old. His miraculous first words proved his intelligence, curiosity, and bravery to the astrologers. The astrologers predicted that the young prince would grow to become the mightiest of all, but he would be killed by a tiger. So this was predicted, that he would be killed by a tiger. Since it was a period of British dominance, the prince was groomed and the British impact was quite visible. He drank the milk of an English cow, was brought up by an English nanny, tutored in English by an Englishman, saw nothing but English films. So everything for the Tiger King was English. His dress, his rearing, his being brought up, his education, all was in English. He was crowned king at the age of 20 years. So when he was only 20 years of age, he was crowned as the king. The king of Pratibandhapuram was arrogant but brave. As the stories of the predictions resurfaced, he killed the first tiger to show his superiority against destiny. Then he called the state astrologer. The astrologer reaffirmed his prediction, saying that 99 tigers would cause no harm, but it was the 100th tiger that he needs to escape from. This made the king to make a vow to kill at least 100 tigers to show that he was determined to win the challenge against the fate. Maharaja's sole aim of life was now to hunt tigers. This fixation led him to kill all the tigers of the tiger-rich forests of Pratibandhapuram. He even pronounced that anybody who dared even to think evil of any of the tiger will have to surrender all wealth and property, as he wanted the right to kill all the tigers for himself. To achieve his target to kill 100 tigers, he became nonchalant to his duties of a king. During the course of his mission, he faced many life-threatening situations. Sometimes he even fought the beast without weapons, but each time he was successful. The high-ranking British officer who wanted to go for tiger hunting visited Pratibandhapuram. He was fond of clicking photographs of tigers, which he killed. The Maharaja did not allow him, as he thought granting permission once would lead to other British officers also making similar requests. As the king refused the permission to the British officer, his kingdom came under the threat. So he discussed with his Diwan and thought of sending 50 sample rings to the British officer's wife. They thought that his wife would choose one ring, but the greedy wife took all the 50 rings. Those rings cost the king 3 lakh rupees, but the kingdom was saved. Those rings cost the king 3 lakh rupees, but the kingdom was saved. After this incident, the tiger hunting expedition of the king continued. Within a decade, he managed to kill 70 tigers. The population of the tigers drastically began to come down. The king told his diwan to find a princess of a royal family suitable for his marriage, and the kingdom should have a large number of tiger population. After his marriage, the king killed 5 to 6 tigers each time he visited the kingdom. This way, he could reach the number up to 99 tigers. These 99 tiger skins ornated the reception hall of Pratibandhapuram palace. Now, only one tiger was left to be killed. The Maharaja became even more uneasy and desired to kill that single tiger and get over his fears. He could then give up tiger hunting. However, the hunter tiger could not be found. The king became anxious. One day, he got the news that sheep had started disappearing from the hillside village. His hope rose. He was extremely pleased that he announced a 3-year exemption from all taxes for the village and set out to find the tiger, but it was in vain. The king got angry that many officers had to lose their job, and in his frenzy, he ordered to double up the tax. The diwan was very worried, so in order to find a solution, he got an older tiger from the People's Park in Madras and kept it hidden in his house. When Maharaja went for tiger hunting, the diwan, along with his wife, took the tiger and dragged him out of the car. The old tiger started wandering in the forest. The king supported and shot the tiger. The exhilarated king took the procession of the dead tiger through the town. After the king left, the other hunters realized that the tiger only fainted due to shock of the bullet. They thought if they will tell Maharaja, they might lose their jobs. Therefore, they decided not to tell him the truth. One of the hunters shot the tiger dead. Then they took out the procession and buried the tiger. A tomb was erected over it. After a few days, Maharaja's son's 3rd birthday was celebrated. He looked out for a gift. He saw a wooden tiger. The toy was only for 2 annas, but the shopkeeper said it was a rare example of the craftsmanship and sold it to the king for 300 rupees. He played with that wooden tiger along with his son. It was carved by an unskilled carpenter. The surface of the toy tiger was rough with quills all over it. One of these quills pierced the king's hand. The king took it out and kept on playing with the prunes. Next day, his right hand got infected, which spread all over the arm. 3 renowned doctors from Madras could not save him. Therefore, the 100th tiger took its final revenge. It killed the Tiger King. Dear students, this was today's lecture about the author, about the theme, and about the summary of the second chapter of Vista's textbook, The Tiger King, written by Kalki. With this, we finished today's